Hello everyone. Today this video here will be titled prioritizing time. Okay. This is especially for those of you who are studying multiple languages. We need to prioritize our time. So what I would do is show you my schedule, what I've made for myself. Now, I don't think I made a video on this before, but in the forums I talked about learning, focusing on 4 languages in a year. Like you can learn 4 languages a year. Well, you can actually learn more than 4 languages a year, but it just all depends on how you prioritize your time. But I will show you this chart here. So guys can see. Alright, so first of all, the languages I've chosen for 2009 are Georgian, let's see, Estonian, Lithuanian, Georgian, and Icelandic. Those are my 4 languages I have decided to choose for 2009. Okay, so I will go through the schedule to show you guys what you guys should do if you're studying multiple languages. Alright, so first of all, we have Monday through Sunday. Okay, I try to study languages every day. I will recommend studying every day. It's okay to take a break, but I will recommend studying every day. So let's start with Monday. I have for Monday I have Estonian, Lithuanian. For Tuesday, Georgian, Icelandic. Wednesday, Estonian, Lithuanian. So it's kind of like one day on, one day off, one day on, one day off. And as I mentioned before, it's okay to take off a day, but for the languages you're studying, the freshest language you're studying, you should just take one day off, and that's it. Because if you take more than that off, you want to regress you're going to regress really quick. Okay, so I would just recommend taking one day off. Now, the more experience you gain in studying that language, then the more time you can take off. So it all depends on how you feel. Do you feel that it's okay to take off a week from the language? So it all depends on how you feel. But just make sure you have a pretty good level, a pretty good foundation in that language, a pretty strong foundation in that language for taking so much time off. So that's why I have Estonian, Monday, Lithuanian, and then Tuesday to be Georgian and Icelandic. So it's like one day on, one day off. Now, as far as the hours, I will recommend for intensive study time. I'll recommend 3 hours each. So I try to study Estonian for 3 hours a day, and then I'll study Lithuanian three hours a day. 3 hours a day. Now, I know everyone has jobs. We all have to work. Okay, of course. What I have to say about that is, I know the maximum probably is at least an 8-hour job, maybe 10 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours. So if you can take 6 hours of your time that day, at least 6 hours of your time that day, and that will be fine, because you can put 3 hours in one language and 3 hours in another language. Now, when you're working, you can take the language to work with you. Now, everyone has to take breaks eventually. So what you should do is whatever language you're concentrating on, just take something, whatever it is you're working on, if it's a grammar point or something, an idiom or whatnot, take that with you and study. You want to study that. You want to study that while you're at work. You could also, think about it at work. You can think about certain scenarios in your head, in whatever language you're studying. That will work out as well. And you can take some notes on the side. Okay. So that's just another thing you could do if you're working. Now, as far as other languages are concerned, down here I have others. And that's just saying the other languages. So, because many of you probably saying, well, what about the other languages you previously studied? Well, you can go back and study those languages. You can practice those languages. I recommend an hour and a half. Okay, Because the first thing first is getting your 3 hours apiece for these other languages you've chosen to study. Okay, you want to get your 3 hours each, and then once you put the time in for that, then go back and study. It could be any language. It doesn't matter what language it is. Go back and give it at least an hour to just to practice it, to stay sharp in that language. Okay. But it's important to make sure you put at least 6 hours. You have at least 6 hours of your time in a day, so you can have 3 hours. So you can have three hours for 3 hours for one language, and then 3 hours for the other. Now I know everyone's different. I'm not sure how many of you are studying more than one language in one day, but if you are studying more than one language in one day, it is important to follow this chart. You should make a chart like this, and so you can prioritize your time. Okay, and after you put your time in, you want to put on your chart 3 hours. Okay, 3 hours, 3 hours. Now, if you don't have that time, if you don't have that time, you say, oh, I don't have 3 hours, 6 hours to put into languages, then at least try to at least an hour, okay, and just record your time over on the side. So it is important to have this chart, okay, for your language study. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what you want to do. And like I said, 1.5 hours for any other language for practice. Okay. So what else do I need to explain here? Oh, and if you have more time, you say, well, I can put more than 3 hours into language. That's great. That's even better. If you can put more than 3 hours, let's say if you can study language for 5 hours, 8 hours a day. If you can do that, I mean, if you have that kind of time, then go ahead and do it. I recommend doing that, because that's even better. So yeah, you can do that. Basically it all depends on what your schedule is like. If you're working, then you have to it's not going to be easy, but you can still learn a language, no matter if you're working or not. Some people say, well, I don't have time, I gotta work. Well, no, you're working, but you still can do languages. You still can do it, but you just have to find a way to squeeze in that time. So there's really no excuse. If you're working, you can still learn a language. You just have to, take the time that you have that you can use for the language, use that time. Okay. So yeah, that's what you want to do, and make sure you keep track of your hours of study. And yeah, again, you guys should I don't know how you guys feel about that 4 languages a year, but I believe you can do more than 4 languages, but that's what I chose to do, 4 languages a year. So you guys should choose languages starting from the beginning of the year, even before the next year. Have a goal. Say, I plan on learning these languages next year. Okay, that's what you want to do. And then at the end of the year, what you can do is update the progress, because that's what I'm going to do. In December, I'm going to update my progress in these 4 languages I've chosen: Estonian, Lithuanian, Georgian, and Icelandic. So that's what you want to do. And it's a good thing to do. It's a fun thing to do at the same time. So that's pretty much it. That's what you want to do for time, and that will help you out. It should help you out. So, like, again, this is for those of you who are learning multiple languages. Now, if you're just doing one language, that's different. I mean, you can still make a chart for your time, but it'll be a little easier for you. So that will conclude this video for prioritizing time. If any of you guys have any questions, just send me a message, and I'll reply as soon as possible. Thanks for viewing the video.